Hi, this is Laura Bomey. Welcome to week 2 of our LXD Advanced Tools course. In week 2, we will be spending time doing more work on design thinking and getting you prepared to put information in your online digital portfolio. So week 2, we will be reviewing different principles of design learning and UX UI design as they apply to learning experience design. And those principles are empathy, divergent and convergent thinking, and then some time you'll spend doing some online tool exploration as you prepare to start developing your online learning experience for the course. So I wanted to go through again kind of the principles that connect the other courses in the LXD program with this one, the ones you may have had prior, or if you're new to some of these concepts, so that we can try and put it all together for you. So over here we have the learning experience design concepts, theory, and the foundation that you've been learning through the learning sciences, design thinking, instructional design, and then the designerly ways of knowing. Those are the things that are that make up the learning experience design as basically a large umbrella for all that we're doing. And again, much of that is kind of the foundational concepts and theory behind why we're doing what we're doing. And then we layer on in other courses and draw on that in this course with the user experience, user interface design. So that's the UX UI design. And that's where you've been prior to this course, perhaps learning some of the specific principles and strategies and the steps and process around design thinking. So when you're each of these courses, as you come up with a problem or what's been called a wicked problem, and then you empathize with your users, you do ideation, and then you do prototyping and testing, and then you come up with a final product. That is a lot of where the principles lie. And those principles come from the LXD side, where all of these areas have been put together to create not only the theory, but also the strategies that we are utilizing. And then in this course specifically, the advanced tools, as I mentioned, you will be doing an online digital portfolio. So in week 1, you created an online website, you've identified a design problem, and then as we go forward, you're going to start to embed artifacts into your online website, and you're going to be considering how you address your wicked problem. So your design problem that you created in week 1, you will be starting to address that in this week through these principles of ideation that are called divergent and convergent thinking, so that you can come up with a variety of ways or ideas around how to address or resolve the problem that you've identified in week 1. And then you're going to start looking at different kinds of online tools that you can use to build out your online portfolio. And so some of the things that I want to make sure you're clear on is that based on your design problem, you will essentially be in this course creating one of the concepts out of your design problem that you will then further develop in an online portfolio. And hopefully in the weeks ahead, that will become clear. But you'll be doing a kind of a repeat of practicing the LXD UX UI principles, seeking peer feedback, and developing prototypes, and doing some user testing, iteration, and ultimately developing a learning solution to your design problem. So we'll go on, and hopefully, again, I put a lot more detail in our Canvas site, so hopefully that helps you. But this is just going back to the design thinking process. And so last week we started to identify a problem and kind of the end user perspectives on that with your how might we questions. And then this week in phase 2, you're going to be looking at your design problem and thinking of ways to solve it. And then out of that, you're going to pick just a slice or a concept that then you will start building out in future weeks in your online portfolio. So just to get us a little clear on some of the principles that we're applying this week as we layer on our tools is the idea of empathetic thinking. So you are to consider the end user's needs and experiences as part of the learning experience design. divergent thinking. So you'll have assignments with divergent thinking and convergent thinking this week. It's the first ideation phase where many ideas and solutions are considered to address your wicked problem. And then convergent thinking, which is a second ideation phase where the divergent ideas that you came up with and those solutions are then whittled down to a few best approaches to address your wicked problem. And then once you come up with that, that's where you're going to be essentially having a solution or two to your wicked problem, and then you're going to be picking a slice out of that to share with the class and further develop in the online portfolio. And again, this is the design thinking steps at a high level, the empathizing and creating a problem from the problem. You're defining the problem. We're at the ideate stage, which is where you're going to be practicing the divergent and convergent thinking. And then in the future weeks, we'll move to prototyping and testing. And these are, while they may at times be sequential or linear, they do not have to be. So oftentimes you'll keep refining and refining as you go from one step to another. And you may go back and go, oh, we missed the boat on thinking about the users. We need to go back and rethink about them or refine our problem a little better as you start to ideate or when you start doing the prototype. So again, here's kind of where we're going. In week 3, you're starting to bring together the LXD, UX, UI, and design thinking by taking your wicked problem from week 1, starting to formulate a learning concept through the process steps in week 2 of ideation and selection. And this is where you would use your divergent and convergent thinking. And then you will start to consider how things might look with the online tool set that you will explore this week in your online digital portfolio. You set that up last week. And then this week, you'll spend a lot more time on the online tools exploration and start thinking about tools that you might use to develop your concept in your portfolio. And then this week, mostly you're just going to be doing stuff describing what you're thinking before you start doing actual work in your online portfolio. So just keep that in mind. Concept, tool, and ideation sharing with your peers. You'll see that pattern repeat, and then you'll have peer feedback. And then here are the summary of what we'll be doing. Review your LXD resources, ideate, thinking with divergent and convergent thinking, explore online tools. You'll identify a learning concept and apply the tools to that, and you're going to describe that. And again, you're not doing the actual work this week in your online portfolio, but you will be starting in week 3. And then you'll share with your peers and reflect on changes to your own approach. I hope this helps you, and thanks for your time.